How does your product use or challenge convention?
Just because we didn't use the typical horror movie that it normally does. We started off a scene of a teenage African American girl being bullied at a park near her house, which is not normally what horror movie starts with. Horror movies start more with someone being murdered or someone being robbed by their house, or something intenseful happens within the first 30 seconds of a horror movie, and we didn't want to follow that trend, so we went outside of it and we used the conventions because we did have someone being chased, and the girl who was actually bullied later on was actually possessed and became demonic and started chasing her tormentors. So we used conventions as well. We also challenged conventions because we challenge what bullying is. Normally with documentaries and everything, the bully always turns around and they're apologizing to the person who they bullied, that they're bullied. But with our particular movie, we didn't do that. Instead of the tormentors apologizing to the person they tormented, they were scared and frightened by them. So we did challenge conventions with both ways. And how does it
How does your product represent social groups or issues?
My product represented social groups and issues because we did a bullying horror movie. We didn't do a regular horror movie, we just did a bullying horror movie, and that is an actual issue that's happening in our world today. A lot of people are being bullied, which is very sad. So we wanted to tread light on that situation and just show that, it's more people out there being bullied, not just high school students, and not just people that you don't know, but it could be people that you've known for a long time. Because in the movie, the two girls who were friends with the bully, with the person who became demonic, they were friends for a really long time, as she stated in the film. So we included that social issue. We also included a little bit on body shaming, because in the film, the tormentor had called the main character a long-headed giraffe, and it's body shaming because obviously that's a genetic that she has. She can't control if she has a long neck. So we also challenge social issues regarding body shaming. It's relatable because many people in their throughout their life either have experienced bullying, seen bullying firsthand, or know of someone who's been bullied. So people can relate to it at that level. People can also relate to it because people out there who love horror movies. So if this is something that they love to watch, they can engage in it right away because it's something that they're used to. Another way that it's relatable is because it stars 3 African American teenage girls. So people of a younger generation automatically are engaged to it because they're seeing people like them on the screen. Especially towards the African American community, there are not a lot of African American females on the big screen besides, big known people like Taraji P. Henson, Viola Davis, Gabrielle Union. People who have been there for a long time are the only people that are really known. So it's good for the younger generation of African Americans to see people like them on the screen. So that is how they're also engaged to it. People who have been body shamed can relate to it because it's a very sensitive subject, and for people to see someone deal with being body shamed, they can have a pull towards it and want to watch it to see what happens next. It can maybe even empower them to step up and fight for themselves.
How would your product be distributed as a real media text?
My product would be distributed as a real media text through social media websites such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. It can also be distributed through ads on YouTube. YouTube is very trending right now. A lot of people are on YouTube watching many different people. So YouTube is very, very popular right now. So to actually get our product on YouTube would benefit us tremendously through the ads. Also with Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat has magazines and ads to where after you watch a snap, you can see an ad pop up. So we can get our product distributed through there. We can also get it distributed through previews at movie theaters, big name movie theaters such as AMC, IPEC, regional. Also get it distributed through commercials on known channels like BET, MTV, FX. Not so much Disney Channel and Nickelodeon because this is a horror movie, so we're branching towards people of not an older generation, but people who are a certain age and up. So it'll be rated PG-13 because there is violence in the movie, such as demonic characters and things like that. It can also be distributed through websites like Putlocker, Showbox, Hulu, Netflix. People are using Hulu and Netflix now, so to distribute it through Hulu and Netflix would be very good because not only does it benefit us, but it benefits Netflix as well. It can also be distributed through sites such as Putlocker, Showbox, Hulu, and Netflix because it can keep kids aware of certain social issues such as body shaming and bullying, and also knowing their self-worth. It helps for those kids to go into school with wanting to prevent something like that from happening. So that's it for how we would distribute it through Real Media Text.
How did your production skills develop throughout this project?
My production skills developed tremendously throughout this project because before I didn't know how to really work the tripod that we use. I didn't know the length that it can go to form high angles and low angles. Although we didn't use that in our film, I did learn how to do that through looking for something else. I actually learned how to do that. My production skills also developed throughout this project because I learned how to insert music into a scene and detach the audio from it, and the scene still runs smoothly. I learned how to add motions and insert titles into the screen so that way a title such as executive produced by would pop up on the screen as you are watching the film that we created. I also learned how to delete footage off of the camera Canon that we use because we ran out of storage, so I learned how to do that as well. My production skills also developed because I learned how to...
How did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project?
I integrated technologies through hardware because I used the Canon camera, I used a tripod, I used the SD card, I used a flash drive to distribute my footage from the camera onto the computer. I used a tripod to get different angles, like high angles, low angles, pan shots. We zoomed in. We used the tripod also to capture a scene where me and my group member were running, and so I learned how I integrated technologies that way. I also integrated technologies through software because Studios. I use YouTube and I use WordPress. I use Pinnacle Studios to edit my video and export it onto the computer. I also use the computer as well. I use Pinnacle Studios to export our finished product from the actual Pinnacle Studios onto our computer, which then we moved that product onto YouTube, and which then we embedded it onto, I embedded my product onto my blog, so that way when people view it on my blog, they can see, they just press the play button and it already comes up. You don't have to go and put an additional link in. I also integrated technologies because I used a flash drive, which it transferred our footage from my finished product onto YouTube, which I didn't know how to do before, which how it relates back to something else that I learned. I didn't know how to add videos onto YouTube, so that's how I used online sources. YouTube, I had my group member already had an account on YouTube, so we just uploaded it onto her YouTube account, and then I imported it into my blog. That's the end. Bye!
Why are you guys always so mean to me?
Because, like, we just don't like you.
Your hair look like a pineapple.
Your neck is long as heck. Giraffe neck.
You guys really don't care, do you?
Nah, nobody cares.
But I care.
This is when you.
You guys really don't care, do you?
Nah, nobody cares.
But I care.
This is when you.
You make a dramatic exit.
I forgot!
Alright, this
Alright, ready?
wait.